create
Let's
fire breaks and use
celebrate.
flames. Among the vast area of the disaster was Mr. Harding, the engineer who had left the train on the tracks in the first instance. He had seen the flames consuming the downtown area of his hotel and losses that helped going on. It had come as a terrible surprise to him to find out that it was his trains that had rolled down into the town and caused the devastation. Leaving his hotel, he joined his group consisting of firefighters and workers from local industries.
He shoves his brakes on very harshly.
Where they were,
As bridge goes apart.
tankers and locomotives still on the rails, waved from the fire, preventing further devastation. Meanwhile, the local hospital
We jumped out fast as then chunks of the bridge fell off as his car then slowly rattled off over to the edge.
Anyway, survival. All in all, 47 people were killed in the disaster, which also destroyed more than 30 buildings, displaced thousands of residents and hundreds of businesses, and all but left Black Mountain. The flames took 2 days to extinguish. Once they were finally out, an investigation was found that many factors had contributed to the disaster. Prominently, Mr. Harding, the train engineer, had failed to apply enough handbrakes to the train.
Underneath the framing of it, bridge only dipped down far.
That number for a train of that size and weight. He had made another error by testing the brakes while both the handbrakes and the air brakes were applied.
It ripped the tour fully as he ran back to get the frick out of the bridge.
3 men, including Mr. Harding and 2 other railway employees, were put on trial.
Everyone was like, let me back this car up.
Death. While there was considerable public anger about the disaster, most of it was not directed at the individual, but instead was saved to the MMA railway.
What was that?
Minimal training, had ignored complaints about the safety of its track, had used outdated tankers, cut corners on repairs,
This
and
bridge
in
suddenly
many
roared
other ways
around
demonstrated
and
an extremely
about.
relaxed attitude to safety over the course of many years. Given these factors, 3 men were eventually acquitted. Legal proceedings began against the MMA Railway, which subsequently announced bankruptcy and laid off most of its employees. Outside of the MMA Railway, many changes in procedure were put in by railways across Canada and the US. Stricter rules to cover how trains must be left if left overnight, how they must be maintained, and to determine which trains and which routes can accommodate dangerous flammable substances. Most railway companies now require at least 2 engineers on a train carrying dangerous materials, and insist on a stringent series of safeguards whenever a train of this type is left overnight in crash. To this day, the damage to Lac-Mégantic is still visible. A huge part of the town has been lost, including the beloved Music Cafe bar, the local library, and several other civic buildings. Some have been moved and reinstated elsewhere. Contaminated with crude oil, the downtown area that was the epicenter of the disaster remains relatively desolate. Trains continue to run on the tracks which brought disaster to the town, although, at the request of residents, for at least one day most years, the 6th of July, no trains run through town, as a mark of respect for a community mourning its dead.
You run a train on the 6th of July in Lac-Mégantic, you get freaking skinned alive. Skin. It's skinned. Oh my god, just break off. Let me be done with this godforsaken rich chunk. Just help. One second, now I have to actually give. Ah!
On the 10th of February,
Okay, wait, no, thank God I was recording. What the frick?
numerous tankers.
Oh yeah, also the bridge is just collapsing. That one, I was just trying to blow off those chunks of the bridge, by the way. The thing is, I listened.
Spread to nearby residential areas. Derailment ultimately impact around 220,000 local areas. But in a miraculous turn of events, resulting in precisely
F me.
zero.
Holy friggers launched that car.
Mississauga is a city on Lake Ontario, adjacent to the state capital, Toronto.
Hello.
In the 1970s, it was time to
I love how it just sways around because of its weird physics. In fact, that only has one tethering point. So it looks really 55 like. Not only because it's a suspension bridge and it has those little thingies. I'm here. I'm here.
It was pulled by three electric. Consisted of one car, many of which were taken. These tankers carried a range of hazardous substances, including styrene, propane, caustic soda, free. In charge of the train were three crew members. Conductor Ted Nichols, joined by racing crew member, engineer Russ. Incidentally, Rufus' father. The pair often worked together on rail.
Only a small chunk of the other part of the bridge now hung.
As the train passed
What the frick?
Tilbury, and it would later emerge that it was due to the failure of nine Tilbury. Lack of communication.
This bridge,
Generated heat.
after suddenly bucking after a wind hit it and it pushed to the cable, causing it to snap and whip against the rest of the bridge, causing the sort of effect that thing whipped it about. Pretty much a lot and chucked another car through the big gap in the bridge.
And the nearby home.
Not right now, checking.
Come from the train.
The middle section of the bridge swung dangling around. There's only some cable side exploding. These really remind me of like Cuphead effects.
Looking back along the line, what? That's fire. A train climbing the height. He swooped.
But then the bridge was fully downed a bit. Downed a bit. That one guy, everyone had to probably just like have like wanted to at least escape from the bridge. If I have like a death, oh my.
But none of them hesitated to back the blaze, even as several tankers detonated. Secondary, tertiary explosions.
Oh yeah, tertiary
Kelly
means third.
It was an incredible sight. The explosion was like 1,000 high by 1,000 wide. I will say this about the men. I am proud. There was no backing down on this fire.
Explosions as the cable started to rip apart and holes in the bridge were cleared.
As soon as conducted by firefighters, tankers made literally dead. Evacuation. These cars patrolled nearby streets, waiting on residents.
It's bent inward, bending apart. There's another section of the bridge bent downwards, causing cars that would have been trying to get off the bridge to suddenly have a pothole. Or cars that were driving into it will have then just witnessing that. There's 1 second, I need a